Hey guys, welcome back to Pop Culture with Pat. So I just gave you my review of my favorite movies of 2019. It is now 2020, so I'm going to be giving you my top 10 most anticipated movies that I'm looking forward to this year. There's quite a few that I'm actually looking forward to, but narrowing it down to 10 for the time of this video's sake. But without further ado, we'll go ahead and get into number 10. Number 10 is Antlers. So this is a film that is directed by Scott Cooper and is produced by Guillermo del Toro. Since the first trailer came out for this, which was a little bit ago in 2019, I was instantly hooked. It just looked really creepy. The visual style looked, really, dark and unsettling. And from what everyone can kind of see so far, and what I'm assuming, just based off the trailers that we've gotten, it looks like this story is about a Wendigo, which is interesting because I feel like this is what kind of like really interested me in this is that it's something that hasn't been done like a million different times, at least like in like mainstream like horror. So that's something that definitely caught my eye. So plus, Guillermo del Toro, he's attached to it. Usually his visual style is always on point. And I'm not really familiar with Scott Cooper's work, so definitely interested to see what he kind of brings to the table with this. But it's coming out in April, and it made my top 10 most anticipated list, so keep an eye out for that. At number 9, we have Marvel's The Eternals. Now, this is something, I'm not going to lie to you guys, I know absolutely nothing about these characters, so I will not pretend up here that I know it like I know anything about these guys. I don't. But I will say, the last time that I knew absolutely nothing about another cosmic group of characters was Guardians of the Galaxy. And that actually ended up being one of my favorite movies of that year when it came out, but also one of my favorite Marvel movies, up to this point as well. So I'm definitely giving Marvel the benefit of the doubt. So far, the cast looks great, so I think they've done a good job with that. We'll see, once we actually get like an actual trailer for the film. But I know from what I've heard as far as like the MCU goes is that they're really supposed to start exploring kind of more of like the cosmic aspect of it. So I'm really looking forward to this, and this comes in at number 9, and I believe it comes out later in 2020, so keep an eye out for that. At number 8, we have A Quiet Place 2. So the first official trailer for this actually just dropped, and I thought that it looks, really interesting. We get to kind of see not only a little bit about of how kind of things started, it looks like from the trailer, but then also they're going to be kind of expanding like the universe. Obviously there's still, some people that are alive out there, but it seems like they might not exactly be the best people. So not only will you have them trying to hide from like these monsters, but also some kind of like scumbag people that are out there as well. So really interested to see this. The first film was definitely one of my favorites. It was super intense. I loved, sitting in that theater and not being able to like eat my popcorn or anything because you just wanted to be super quiet. So I'm seeing if they can kind of recapture that magic again. But so far, I thought the first trailer was great. So that comes out, I want to say March, April. So really looking forward to that. At number 7, we have Candyman. So I'm not sure what the official title for it is, but this is supposed to be basically like a spiritual sequel to the original Candyman, and it's produced by Jordan Peele. He's not directing it, but he is involved as a producer. Also, Tony Todd is coming back, but from what I've heard, it doesn't sound like he's going to be in the role of the actual Candyman. So I'm curious to see how they're going to use him, just because I feel like, he's one of those horror villains that, him and the character kind of go hand in hand. So really interested to see what they're going to do. But I mean, I feel like if anyone's kind of proven that they have a solid track record with horror, it's definitely Jordan Peele. So I can't wait to see, what's going to happen and how that film turns out. Not sure as far as a release date, but I'm definitely looking forward to this one. At number 6, we have Black Widow. She is finally getting her own solo film after being in the MCU for over 10 years now, and supposedly this movie is supposed to take place in between Civil War and Infinity War. So we're going to learn a little bit more about her history. Obviously we get to see the Red Guardian, in here played by David Harbour, and then also her sister as well, which I'm not super familiar with. So I'm really curious to see, learn more about those characters. But then one of the other people I'm also looking forward to is the introduction of Taskmaster. So really, curious to see what they're going to do with his character and how he's used. Because from what I've heard, it sounds like he's, pretty much like the main villain of this film. So definitely looking forward to this, to learn a little bit more about Black Widow. She's a character that I feel like should have gotten probably a solo movie a little bit sooner, but hey, at least we're getting one now. So definitely looking out for that. Any pretty much MCU film, for the most part, will probably be on my list at some point. At number 5, we have Tenet. So this is directed by Christopher Nolan, which that in itself is just something that makes me automatically interested in the movie. The guy is obviously a fantastic director. So any project that he puts out, I definitely want to check it out. But I saw the first trailer, it just came out like on YouTube or whatever. But then I actually got to see the little prologue / trailer that they made for IMAX that they showed before Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. And man, that thing was so intense, and getting it to see on that, the big screen, because I went to Jordan's Furniture to see it. So the screen there is huge. So, it was super intense scene. I won't get into too much of it in case, because it was a pretty lengthy clip. It was like around like 10 minutes. So don't really want to spoil much, but super intense scene. The score, the visuals, everything looked amazing. So I will definitely be checking that out at Jordan's. It seems like it's going to be one of those films that you'll want to see on the biggest screen possible. And basically, from what you can kind of gather so far, is that this character played by John David Washington, he basically gets recruited to be as part of this like special task force unit. And then there's also like the manipulation of time. So it's pretty much all you can kind of gather from like the trailers so far. But that's something that I can't wait to see, and we'll definitely be checking that out at Jordan's IMAX. So keep an eye out for that one. At number 4, we have Mulan. So up to this point with the Disney live action remakes, I haven't really been the biggest fan of them. I guess none of them have like really caught my eye. The Lion King, it just seemed like a beat by beat remake. So it looked like visually great, but it just wasn't something that I was really interested in. Aladdin, same thing, just didn't really care too much to go and see them. But I will be honest that this is the first film that I am actually really anticipating, as you can see, making it so high on my list. But it's directed by Nicky Caro, hope I'm saying that right. And just the 2 trailers that we've gotten so far, the visuals on this thing look amazing. And I do like how they're taking a little bit more serious approach with this. And from what I've heard, it sounds like it's based more kind of on the legend than, I guess, doing a beat-by-beat remake of the Disney movie that we got. I know some people are kind of upset because it's not certain aspects from the Disney movie aren't in it. But honestly, to me, I like that because it's something a little bit different. So there might be things that that happen that you might not expect. So I'm up for definitely having some surprises in the movie. And this thing, it looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. So I can't wait to check this out later this year. At number 3, we have Ghostbusters Afterlife. So it looks like we are finally getting a sequel to Ghostbusters 2 after all these years. This is directed by Ivan Reitman. And basically, like I said, it takes place, 30 years from like the original like Ghostbusters. And you have the original Ghostbusters that are going to be coming back in this film. We didn't see them in the trailer. I'm kind of glad they didn't show them there. So that way it gives us something more to like look forward to. They might do it in like the next one, but we know that they're going to be in the film at some point. But I also do like some of the new cast that they brought in. So McKenna Grace, Finn Wolfhard, and Paul Rudd. So I think, overall, so far, solid casting. The first trailer that we got, I thought looked really interesting. And the fact that it's not in like a big city this time, it's actually in a small town. I think that's a nice little, switch up from kind of where the first 2 films were. So this is something that, especially with what happened with the last Ghostbusters film we had, I know a lot of people are really probably kind of hesitant because, that one wasn't liked by too many people. So, but I'm definitely looking forward to this. I hope it's, just as good as, or as at least somewhat near as close as 1 and 2. And make sure you guys check that out this summer. It's coming out in like July, August, I believe. At number 2, we have Wonder Woman 1984. So the first Wonder Woman absolutely killed it. It was one of the first like DCU films that I felt actually really they did a good job with. After that point, the DCU had kind of struggled. But this time around, they're bringing Patty Jenkins back. She's directing it again. Obviously, Gal Gadot's back as Wonder Woman, and just from the first trailer that we got, some of the visuals in there looked amazing. Some of the things I can think off the top of my head, when she's lassoing the thunder, that looked insane. And then also when she's the slow-mo, when she's like blocking the bullets with her hands, deflecting those, a couple shots that just stand out in my mind. So can't wait to check that out in IMAX. And then I'm also looking forward to see how they use the character Cheetah, and if we're actually going to see her in like her actual like form, or what they're going to do with that. So Wonder Woman's number 2, because I really liked the first one, Wonder Woman. It was one of my favorite movies of the year, so can't wait to check that out. And finally, at number 1, this might not surprise some of you guys, because you guys know I'm a big horror fan. I love, Halloween in general, so Halloween Kills makes my number 1 most anticipated movie of the year. I was a big fan of Halloween 2018. I thought they did a good job of bringing Michael Myers back, making him an actual like threat again. And, I thought overall the film was just really fun, injected life back into the series. They're pretty much bringing almost everyone back, at least the characters that survived. James Jude Courtney is back as Michael Myers, as well as also bringing in some people, characters from like previous films. So one of them being Anthony Michael Hall, who I got to talk to at Rhode Island Comic Con, and he was saying that this movie is absolutely insane. He couldn't go into a lot of detail, obviously, but he said that, this is something I think that you'll definitely have a lot of fun with. One of the more like brutal Halloween films. So, I know he probably can be just saying that because obviously he is in the film. But the guy seems, like pretty sincere and genuine. So I feel like this is definitely a movie that a lot of horror fans and, Halloween fans like myself will be looking forward to. And that is the reason why it made number 1 for me. So, but yeah, let me know what your guys, most anticipated movies are that you're looking forward to this year. I know there's a lot of cool ones. Go ahead and put your list down below in the comments. Let me know. So maybe if there's some that I wasn't aware of or whatever, I can, keep an eye out for those. And as always, guys, make sure to hit that subscribe button as well as the bell button next to it, so that way you get notifications for all my videos. I will be having reviews, or a review for The Grudge, which I should be checking out tomorrow. So keep an eye out for that. And as always, guys, make sure to check back for more Pop Culture with Pat.